Shalom Aleichem Rabotai. Today, B'ezrat Hashem, we're finishing the fifth parak of Maasrot in the Mishnah Yomi. So right now we're on Mishnah Zayin. So chapter 5, Mishnah 7. Horei Hanemolim, the ant holes, meaning you found grains in a colony of ants, like in their tunnels, in their storehouses. Shalonu, that they slept, they spent the night, B'tzod Ha'arema, next to your pile of grain, a chayevet, which was chayev in maaser, because this grain is at gimar malocha. Harei elu chayavim. So whatever you find in these ant holes, it's chayev in maaser. Sheyadua, because it's known, shemidavar hagamor gorin kol halayla, that from this pile of finished grain, they've been dragging the kernels all night long. So not only are we learning about maaser, but we're learning about the gathering habits of ants, that the ants prefer to go out and gather the food at nighttime to fill up the storehouses in their ant colony. And also that if there's a supply of food right next to their ant hole, they will prefer to drag the food from that close supply rather than going abroad to find food farther away. So we've learned about maaser and about ants. Great. Mishnah Ches. Shum bol bechi, the garlic of bol bechi, the Bartanura brings two pshatim. It's either a shum charif, it's super spicy. We'd call it flaming shum. She'ochlo boche, someone who eats it cries. So bol bechi, bechi is crying. Ve'enav zolagos demos. It makes him literally shed tears. So this is the super harif stuff. This is the real stuff. The Bartanura brings another explanation. V'li nire. It also appears to me shum Godel Bahar Lebanon. It grows on a hill in Lebanon. Sheken be'arvi in Arabic, corn Lebanon bolbik. So apparently there's a place in Lebanon called the bolbek, and that's where this plant grows, and it's also apparently super spicy. Uvotzel shel richpa, and the onions from richpa, grisin hakilkin, the grisin from kilki, which might be Cilicia, Veha adashim hamitzriot, the Egyptian lentils. Rabbi Meir Omerhi. Rabbi Meir adds to this list of hakarkis. Karkis is a cabbage or a bean. Rabbi Yossi Omer of hakotnit. Kotnit is similar to our kitnius. This is some species of lentil. B'turim min maaser. All of these items are pater from maaser, and the Mepharshim say because these aren't usually planted domestically. They're typically grown in the wild, and people aren't cultivating these. Another explanation is these are all foreign plants that do not typically grow in Eretz Yisrael. Like we saw, the first one grows in Davka in Lebanon. A lot of things grow in Cilicia, Mitzrayim. They're typically not Eretz Yisrael fruits. So if you saw these in the market, you'd say, well, they're most likely, pretty much always, not grown in Eretz Yisrael and pater from maaser. Apparently not grown in Syria also, as we saw yesterday. So the Mishnah adds, so you can buy these from anyone during Shvit, because either these grow in hefker, they're not cultivated at all, and hefker is not an issue with Shvit, because it doesn't belong to anybody, so there's no chiyuv for beer to put it out at certain times of Shvit, or they're from Chutz La'aretz, where Shvit does not apply. So the Mishnah continues, Zora luf ha'elyon, the seeds from the upper luf, a different kind of luf, and zera kreshim, and the seeds of cress, zera betzolim, seeds of onions, zera lefetz nanot, and of radishes and turnips, shar zerone gina shenechol, and other garden seeds that are inedible. So typically the seeds of grains are edible. You can process them into flour and bread, but the seeds of vegetables frequently are not edible. So we're talking about here, p'turin min maaser. So they're pater of maaser because you can't eat them. Nukachim mikol adam b'shvit. And two, since they're not food, you can buy them from anyone during Shvit. So not a Shvit issue. Sha'afol pi sha'avihen truma. Even though their fathers are truma, meaning the vegetables themselves are chayev and truma maaser, harei elu ye'echelu. The new plants are not going to be truma. So if you took seeds from vegetables of truma and then you planted them, typically that's truma. But if the seeds were completely inedible, as they are in this case, then what grows out of them are not truma. This is not the same as what we learned in the Mishnah truma. If you had grains, you planted kernels of wheat that were truma, then hagodol min truma, then you'd have to treat what grows out of it as truma as well. Shkoyach, have a great day. And Mazel Tov on our completion of Maaser. And tomorrow begins Maaser Sheni. So we're back for seconds. It was so good they made a sequel.